Homophobia. Homophobia is the irrational fear of, aversion to, or discrimination against homosexuality and homosexuals. So wait, it's irrational to be scared of a gay person? Of course it's irrational to be scared of gay people. What are they doing to you besides loving somebody of the same sex? I mean, does that really have an effect on your heterosexual relationship? I really don't think so. I don't think that it does. I'm pretty positive, in fact, that it doesn't. People need to take the time to understand that gay people aren't wrong. There's nothing wrong with them. They're who they are, just like you and me. Just like every heterosexual couple, every heterosexual person. Homosexuals have the right to marry and be treated equally no matter their sexuality. In fact, the illegality of gay marriage and the belittling of homosexuals in our nation is vile and disgusting, and its inequality to its greatest. We all require the same basic human needs to be met in order to lead a life of fulfillment. We are all so similar yet drastically different due to our life experiences. Everyone, once in a while, should sit down alone in solitude and take in the beauty of nature that surrounds us, imagining the future. One might come to realize just how short and precious life is. The only way to get through to those who are unaccepting and intolerant is by expressing compassion and a desire to aid their perspective with love. By supporting and becoming involved with the gay rights movement and speaking out against inequality, we become one step closer to living in a more loving, unified world. By taking the time to understand why homosexuality is not an abomination, one might be able to look at the world with a greater understanding and more compassion and a broader view of human interaction from culture to culture. The top 3 justifications for a homophobe's hatred of homosexuality are as follows. Homosexual acts are abnormal. There is no biological purpose of homosexual relations because they can't reproduce. And it is an abomination and slight against the way of God. Well, all of these assumptions are, in fact, wrong. Homosexuality is not abnormal. It exists in nature. There has been so many scientific discoveries of animals having sex with each other, animals of the same sex. Human beings are animals. It's a natural thing. You can't avoid it. It's out there, it exists in nature, and to deny it is stupid and ignorant. Just accept the fact that homosexuality exists and it's okay. Just because something is considered normal does not necessarily classify it as morally just. Take the example of slavery. Slavery was normal at one point in time. Does that make it right? No. Gay people shouldn't be allowed to love each other because there's no biological purpose to their relationship. Alright. Looking at this argument, one might clearly see that there are a lot of heterosexual couples out there that can't have babies. This is true. I'm sorry. Just because someone can't reproduce does not mean that they should be denied the right to marry. What are you going to do? Tell a lady who is infertile enough to have children, she can't have babies, that she can't marry the man that she loves just because she can't have children? No. That doesn't exist in our culture. As far as religion is concerned, religious institutions and people are supposed to advocate love and understanding in the world, not demonize and cruelly disdain their fellow human beings for living a different lifestyle than their own. Bigoted individuals base their moral guidance from a 1,000-year-old book that has been rewritten a countless amount of times, and yet they have the audacity to reject the scientific observation and facts in order to stand in the way of someone else's relationship and happiness simply because they do not agree with it. Religion should not be used for any decision-making involving the politics of same-sex marriage and gay rights, or the entire political agenda in general. Facts do not rest within the confines of religious beliefs. Facts exist in science and science alone.
Do you realize that you have the most beautiful face? Do you realize we're floating in makes you cry? Do you realize that everyone you know someday will die? And instead of saying all of your goodbyes, let them